Hey everyone. I was asked by a roofing contractor friend of mine to set up a lighting company, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for us to go ahead and set up the automations that come in through BUMS.AI as a standard. So when you buy the 297, one of the advantages that you get with BUMS.AI, we thought through some of the recipes or some of the automations to help you build a better system that is more custom tailored to a home service, roofing restoration, insurance restoration business. This happens to be a lighting company, so it is versatile. You can use it for some other things. But let's go ahead and get started and just set this up. I'm going to move a little fast. If you have questions, feel free to post them below and we'll try to answer those. But I'm going to try to get this set up and just show you what it takes, right? So I get in here. This is exactly how it would show up to you. You're in here. The only thing I've done here is I've gone into settings and I've loaded up my company information. I've loaded up my logo. I've added my phone number, things of that nature. And that's it. Now I'm getting going with my automations. And what we're going to do very quickly here is we're going to start running through this. So I'm going to go first tools and Automagic, which is where we have our automations. And you can see here the bonus automations. And there's a host of them. I believe there's about 10 at the time that I'm doing this filming. I don't know how many there will be as we add and improve to those automations. But right now we have these 10. And we're going to run through them pretty quickly here and set them up and tailor them and show you how simple it is. But also, we'll take the opportunity to make a few little custom modifications to show you how simple it is. Here I am, Facebook Messenger. So Facebook Messenger is super important, but the one problem with automations, as you know, is sometimes Facebook comes in, somebody responds and they get this response and they're like, oh, that was super great. You guys are Johnny on the spot. So then what happens? What happens is sometimes the automation repeats again and again and again. It makes it look non-human. So what we want to do is engage that customer, let them feel like they were actually tended to. So there's a trick to doing this, and I'm going to show you how. So what we do in here, when a new message comes in from Facebook, we're going to go ahead and check if it has a tag, and we're calling this tag Facebook channel. This is already pre-built. You don't have to do anything, but I just want to explain it to you. So what it's going to do is if somebody has that tag already, it's going to go ahead and treat them differently. What it's going to do for them is it's going to send this little messenger, and it's going to say, allow us a few minutes and we'll get back to you shortly. You've already had that human touch that I'm going to show you in a second through an automation, but now you want to not fake it too long. Otherwise, someone's going to say, hey, your business doesn't care. So what we've done here is move this to that segment. Now we move back to the person who is brand new and coming to you looking for services. What we're going to do there is we're going to give it a pause. We're going to give it 0.2 minutes, just letting it seem human. We're going to go in and send a Facebook Messenger. Now, hey, this one here says, hey, Johnny. This is a token, by the way. So, hey, Johnny. And in Facebook's case, it's going to pull their first name because it's already in the system. You don't have to worry about asking for it. It's going to grab it. Hey, Johnny, thanks for reaching out. Can we please continue this over text? Now, let's say I don't like what that says. I want to change it. Thanks for reaching out. I am stepping away. However, can we please continue this over text? I like that better. I'm going to save that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait just a few seconds and I'm going to send another message. And I'm going to say, please send me your mobile number and I'll get back to you ASAP, right? So I'm going to make sure that I ask for that mobile number. And then what I'm going to do is I have this wait here. And I'm going to wait up to 4 hours. It's called a timeout. After 4 hours, it's just going to continue down the path. And you can see right below it, I have this like tree, if then statement of where it's going to go. And the question there that we're going to ask is, did they respond or did they not respond? So what we're going to do is during those 4 hours, we're going to see hopefully they respond. Now, if you're a human jumps in and decides to take over this conversation, no problem. The conversation will stop, allow you to continue it. You'll manually update your phone number and carry on. However, let's just say there's no human involved. Like in this particular business, I know for a fact that this is a startup. They're going to be wanting to leverage as much automation and take as much off the owner's hands as possible. So what we're going to do here is we're going to wait. And when that field gets sent in, so let's just say I reply, my number is 847 da da da. Well, it's intelligent. It's going to go pull that number and put it into that field. And what it's going to do is it's going to next add a tag. And this tag is going to say Facebook channel. This is how we differentiate when that person comes back again, not to say, hey, and repeat that same statement, right? And then we're going to go ahead and notify somebody internally. Hey, username. So in this case, it happens to be Sean. Hey, Sean, you have a pending Facebook message from Johnny Smith. Please get back to him ASAP. And that's going to be set up for him. So that's the alert. Now, if I wanted to send this conversation, this alert to somebody else, like right now it says all users here. I want you to see how simple this is. I'm going to go ahead and click down and say a particular user. So I don't want it to message my entire team. I want Facebook is being handled by Sean. So I'm going to set that up. And I can pick some different things there. So it's very powerful as far as that. But let's say I'm new to the system. Lateef, I love it, but I'm really not positive I'm going to jump in there as much. Is there a better way I can get these messages? Number one, I'm going to tell you, use a mobile app. That's going to be your best bet. But let's just say you're still, you still want it your way, no problem. I'm going to create a second alert here, notifications. I'm going to type in the word notification. I'm going to find my notification, and I'm going to pick the type that is a SMS. I want to text you. And before I do that, I'm just going to go steal this just to make things quick here. I'm going to copy that language here, which is easy to do, by the way, guys. So I'm going to go in here, go back to my notification, and I'm going to drop it down to SMS. I'm going to drop that message in there. I'm going to say, send this to a particular user. As long as that user has a cell phone, I can attach them. Now, if there was multiple users in here, I would be able to include multiple users. So I can send this to not just one, but multiple people if I wanted to. Or I can send it to one person and later on send it to another person. There's a lot of magic you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and save this action here. And I'm going to make sure to save. Now, a couple things here with this. And we've already set this up for you. You're going to want to look at this settings here. And you're going to want to make sure that it's set to allow re-entry. Because otherwise, this automation is not going to work in the future. And we've already designed it where it can go for the people that we've contacted versus the people that are new. So we want this to continue working over and over and over again. So we've set this up now. That's it. We're done with the Facebook one. Very simple. Let's move on to Instagram. Now, Instagram, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because it's the exact same thing. The only difference here is we're sending the reply messages in Instagram, and we're using a tag that is, if we look down here, the tag is Instagram channel. Now, in Instagram's case, because of a little bit of the way Instagram works, and if you like a picture, it's going to consider it a comment, I've also put in a couple little things here to help that conversation be a little bit more intelligent and not make you look automated. So it's been built in for you. All we have to do here is check those messages, modify them. And what we're going to do is go down to the bottom and figure out our notification, who it goes to, and we're going to set that up accordingly, right? So pretty powerful, pretty easy. So I'm going to get out of this one, and I'm going to go continue down the line. And I have my web chat and GMB. Web chat and GMB. So what this one is doing is anytime a tag is added from any source, so Instagram, Facebook, my web chat, or there's another one here for Google Messenger. Anytime that happens, and Google Messenger is being set up below. Sorry about the order here. I need to renumber these a little. And that's something I got to work on. Naming conventions, super important. As you get these, you're going to see that we improve and share more and more of this stuff. So now I'm going to wait to seem human again. So let's just say we got done with that Facebook integration. Somebody sent their message. We're going to wait just 0.2 minutes, right? And we're going to engage. We're going to go and say, hey, Johnny, are you looking to set up an inspection or do you need something else? Right? Now, I happen to know in this particular company's case, they're not doing an inspection. Are you looking for an estimate or did you need something else? Right? So that's going to work a little bit better for me. And I can see here I put in location name, and location name is going to go ahead and fill that in with the company name. So ABC Contracting, Luminous Exteriors, Luminous Lighting, whatever it is, it's going to fill that in. So I've gone ahead and done that. It's going to wait for a reply. It's going to wait up to 2 hours for that reply from that person by text. Now, if they engage on Facebook, most likely they're going to engage. But we want to look at our options. So what do they say? We asked this question, which was, did you want to do this or something else? So what we're going to look for is we're going to look for a positive answer. Something very cool. If you look right here, HighLevel will look and try to understand the intent. It's going to try to see, did this person say something that has the intention of a positive comment? Yes, sure. I'd love that. It's going to try and make that out and work a particular way. And we've tested a lot of those things and it works great and it gets better and better over time. So we have an option here where if that response is positive, we have another response where the intent is negative. No, I'm looking for something else. As a matter of fact, that's not what I'm looking for. Negative words, right? It's going to look for that. And then we have a third tree here, which is they just don't respond. And sometimes people don't. And that's okay. Now, remember, we asked for a text specifically. We wanted to get away from that landline. We wanted to try to bring them into text. I'm going to tell you, if you leverage text, you're going to be able to create much, much more scalability with your business. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do here. So that's why we asked that question. We didn't just say, what's your phone? We said, may I text you? Right? So we want to be intelligent how we navigate this. So we can control a lot of the situation. In today's world, honestly, texting is readily accepted. And if they say, no, I'd prefer to give you my landline, great. Let's take that number and handle it different. No problem. We don't want to sit here and argue with what the customer is saying, but we do want to try to push them into the right place. Like, hey, let me direct you to that front door, right? So now I want to get in here, something that's cool that you're going to do. So let's go through the negatives, right? We have nobody answered. We're going to notify you and just say, hey, this person inquired. You got to get to them. So another thing that we need to do is an other negative answer, which is going to be no if they responded. What we're going to do is we're going to wait. We're going to go down and we're going to just ask some details. Let me get this over to someone to reach back out. Any details you wish to provide, meanwhile, allow us a bit to get back to you. Seems a little not clean. I would probably clean this language up a little, but regardless, language is there and you can free that up. And I'm going to put that action in there. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use this little go to button. And this go to slides right over this notification. And I look at this notification, I'm seeing something missing here. So I'm going to say and I'm going to put in the contact name. But let's just say sometimes we don't have their name because perhaps they text. So knowing that, I'm going to put a space bar. I'm going to put in their phone number. This is going to cover most of the bases. I'm either going to have their name if they come from Instagram, Facebook, things like that. I'm going to have their phone if they, of course, reached out to me on the web form or they reached out to me on their cell phone or what have you. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go back down. I'm going to go to message. I'm going to drop that message body. So whatever it was that they said, I'm going to put it here. So for example, if they provided details and said, I'm looking to find out where I make a payment, that's going to show over and that's going to be there. And again, you can go ahead and customize this to your needs. This is designed to help get you moving, but also give you that flexibility of customization, right? So I'm going to save this action again. And what we're going to do is I want to explain the yes. This is super powerful. This is a BUMS exclusive because the standard high-level people do not get this. It's an agency level thing that we're able to offer you through us. And it is by HighLevel, but it's called Eliza. And what Eliza does is a automation bot. What it's going to do is say yes. So if somebody says, yes, I'd like to get an estimate. It's going to go into this pipeline first. And this is something we've set up, and it's going to put it onto your hot leads. This person's interested. I want them on my pipeline. So that part's done. We're also going to use the AI booking bot. And the booking bot in this case is going to say, would you like for me to book you? Would you like for me to book you an inspection? Right? And in this case, because this person is going to be a lighting company, I'm going to change this. I'm going to say, would you like to book a Zoom call to go over your options, right? I'm going to save that because in their case, they're not going to go out there. And this applies to your internal sales. If you were going to do internal sales, you're probably not going to want to go out there. So now this bot has a little magic to it. It's going to go one of a few ways and it has its own little things. So when you get in here, there's some settings. We've set it up for you already. But if it books, it's going to add this tag and this sentence says AI booked. That's going to come in later. We're going to explain why that's important. If they say no, I'd rather not book, something like that. Or I'm sorry, if they time out. If they time out, like in other words, they don't reply. I find this to work great. Johnny, ? It gets them to re-engage. So this is some way that we can do that. Another one that they're going to do is they're going to apply a negative. They're going to say, no, that's not what I want to do. And again, we're going to move it right back over that notification and say, human takeover, this is over my head, help me out. So remember, automation AI. So far we've touched on automation, not so much AI. There is a little AI on this bot here, but what we're doing is we're working on a way to integrate that human and that automation to leverage it so you can scale your business and still give you that feeling of being dealt with by a human, but also giving you the advantage of using technology to your favor. So I'm going to save this action real quick, and I'm going to save this one. And again, there's some settings over here. These have been preset for you. You can go in when you purchase your BUMS.AI, and some of these settings are there. Understand them. I always suggest to use them the way we've set them, and then slowly adapt. Slowly make those changes. Get comfortable with what you're doing, and you're going to find yourself in less and less trouble. All right, so we're going to move back and let's get to the next one. So we've gotten down to our web chat and GMB responder. We're going to do a location responder. This is very simple. This is going to listen to your conversations from all sources. Instagram, Google, chat widget, the Facebook. What it's going to do is it's going to understand and it's going to say, hey, somebody asked this condition. This condition is what? They replied, something contains the word you located. Where are you located? Can you tell me your location, right? Or replied saying your address. And there might be some other phrase that's local to you, and you can add those over here. And you want to use the or statement here, not the and statement. So it's one of these two, not both, right? And if they say that, the bot's going to wait just a second, and it's going to jump right in, and it's going to say, we're located at blah, blah, blah. Now, this particular automation, it's okay to actually sometimes say AI bot or something like that, name your bot, something like that, to let them know that this was a bot, because sometimes it's going to jump in between another automation. I've timed it pretty good here. It works pretty well. I don't think you're going to find too much trouble. But if this ends up feeling like what's going on here, I'm like, boom, boom, these messages don't make sense, put a little signature on it. Just say, so this happens to be luminous lighting bot, right? Lighty. This is the Lighty bot, right? You can put something like that in there and help put that in there. So this is going to go and reply to whatever channel that they replied from. Now let's go back and let's take a look at happy birthday. Another very simple one. This one we kind of just took there on their birthday. We have a simple little reminder. Hey, have a great day, things like that. But you can customize this and you can move in. And this is another place you can create an offer. Hey, I see that it's your birthday today. We'd love to offer you 10% off on your lighting, 10% off on this, a free inspection. We're going to give you a free t-shirt or whatever, right? So you can actually use this to help leverage and create a more personal relationship. Now, for those of you that are thinking, well, I don't even get my customer's birthday, why would I do that? Number one, you should. Data is power. But let's just say you're not. You have staff, you have employee. Let's send a message to our staff and say, happy birthday. We love you over here at our company. Thank you for being part of the team. Put it in there. It does not hurt. So now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to now look at this Google Messenger. This is very similar to that Facebook Messenger, but a little different. Now, the thing about Google Messenger you're going to want to know, Google Messenger is going to add this text spot when you add BUMS.AI. It's going to add that text feature to your Google listing. So somebody can text you. When they text you, Google goes ahead and somewhere between 6 and 8 hours, they check back and they say, hey, how did you do? How did they do? Did you get an answer? Did you not get an answer? And you're going to want to always get this, which means you want to respond and engage. So this is the start. Part of the thing that Google is also seeing is how quickly are you responding? So what we're going to do is we're going to send a notification right away, because Google, I believe, is very important. I want to just say, hey, there's somebody out there, reach out. I'm letting you know right now. And that notification, remember, we can do an SMS, we can do something different. I like to use the system. I believe you guys should buy into the system and the app. It's going to be just much cleaner. If you're like me, you're just going to hate getting an email notification, a SMS notification, a notification on the app. It's just too much. Pick one, go with it. So we're going to do a quick intro. We're just going to, how can I help you today, right? And I could put something different there. Hey, we're here to light your day up. How can I help you today? So this happens to be a lighting company, so I want to put that, we're here to light your day up, or we're here to brighten your day. I'm not the marketing guy, guys, so I'm just putting this there. How can I help you today, right? So whatever it might be, play with that, figure out what you want to say, customize it to your heart's content, not a big deal. Every business is different. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, we're going to wait about up to 4 hours for a response, because we want to let the thing go. But I'm going to tell you that Google does message back around that 6 to 8 hour mark. So I want to make sure that this is like not waiting too long. That's why I've chosen 4. Now, if they replied, I'm going to move forward and ask for their phone number and say, hey, can we continue this over a mobile phone, right? So that's what I'm doing here. As you can see right here, I'm asking for a mobile phone and I'm trying to say, let's go ahead and move forward. Now, if they don't reply after those 4 hours of timing out, are you still there? Right? And I'm just saying that. And if I want to, I can even put their first name. So I can just put in contact, first name. And if Google happens to have their phone number, they're going to say it. If it doesn't, it's just going to start from, are you still there? And that's why I put the capital A. It's just a little trick that I'm going to do there and try to use that. Now it's going to wait and it's going to go to, again, if they do engage, we're going to try to ask for their phone number. But if they don't, we're just going to say, hey, I'm going to, in this case, move right to their phone number. I'm going to ask for it. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to update that contact field and I add that tag. This tag is a tag that triggers that other automation that handles the rest. So you see how easy that was. So now we're going to go back over here and let's take a look at what else we got here. So send review request. So send review request appointment. This is based off the appointments. So you're going to want to kind of keep an eye on this. Let me go in and say we have the event type is normal and the appointment status showed. So if an appointment shows, we're going to do this. If we add the tag, which is request review, so I can manually trigger this, I'll show you later how to do that. Or if we win an appointment. Now what win means is different for everybody. Do they book an appointment could be a win. Make a purchase could be a win. Schedule an inspection could be a win. We have to define that later. Right now, I've kind of put this in for you and we'll get into that at a later time. So we're going to say, hi, Johnny. We value our customers' feedback. Just curious if you're satisfied with our service. Respond, and I put respond. So I'm going to fix that right now. Respond, Y for yes, and N for no. Thank you. And it's going to send a location name so they know who it came from. Now it's going to wait for a reply, and it has that same kind of idea of timing out. It's going to wait for a day, right? But what it's going to do is, if they don't reply, it's going to do nothing. In this case, I've just given it a dead leg. Done. If they do reply and they say no, N, we're going to reply with a, if you be so kind, if you'd be kind enough to share how we could improve, I will pass it along to management. Thank you. My idea here is to just give them a place to complain. Why would you want them to complain? And I could even say, I could have used the word sorry or something, but I don't want to use that yet because I don't know exactly what they're going to say. So I'm going to move with this. This is a little bit more generic. I found it to work. So the positive people, what am I going to do? I'm going to send an SMS, say, great, would you be kind enough to leave me a review? And this is going to allow me to get better and better, more positive reviews. And I'm going to wait about an hour and I'm going to go ahead and send them an email. And that email is going to be also, would you leave us a review? Now, let's say I don't want to wait 60 minutes. I can change that very easily. Let me go here and just change this to, maybe I just want it to be 20 minutes, Lateef. All right, done, saved, over, right? Pretty simple to do. Now, another thing I want to do with this one that's a little tricky, I want to go into my settings. And what I want to do is use a time specific window. I'm going to go ahead and use that. This should only go out between 8 and 5, Monday through Friday. I don't want to disturb people after hours. I don't want to disturb them on the weekend. So I've set this on now. Now, this wasn't default set on. I'm setting this on because I feel like that's what I want to do for my business. Again, that powerful level of customization if you understand the software. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. We're done. Boom. That's beautiful. It's going to run Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, right? And then this one here, I was just playing with. I'm going to go ahead and delete that guy real quick. That's and you see he's asking me to confirm to delete. I'm going to give you a tip here that's super valuable. Let's say you don't like the way I'm doing my review. You want to do it differently. You have a different idea. No problem. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make sure you cover yourself. First thing, I'm going to open up my send review request. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back. Remember, you've purchased this from us. Keep it. Don't lose it. I'm going to go back down to the bottom. I'm going to hit these 3 ellipsis dots. And I'm going to say duplicate. And I'm going to rename this as 09. And maybe I'm going to call this like mod or something, right? Something that I know, like it already says copy. I'm going to put something in there that I know, or I'm going to make my own numbering convention. But now what I can do is I can modify to my heart's content on this one. And should I create something, I create an error or something's not working, I can always go back as a reference to that other original automation, because if I don't do that, I might lose what I have. So this is a very, very, very good suggestion to help you move forward in a better way. So we have that done. And we're going to go down to two more. We got no show nurture. So thanks for bearing with me, guys. I really appreciate this, guys and gals. What we're going to do is here we have a no show appointment. And all we're doing here is attempting to reschedule. You can follow along with this. Very simple. If you want to change your messages, go in here. Very simple. Change your messages. Start understanding the tokens. Now, when you're looking at the tokens, one thing to understand, contact is the customer who you're reaching. User is you. It's you. You're going to put your first name, your last name, or you can just use generic and hard put in. For example, at Boss Up Solutions, we use our automation Kate. Kate is an automation for those of you that didn't know, but Kate is an automation. But when the human steps in, it gives Kate a real vast personality because the humans do step in at times, right? And this is how we give you that effect and that beautiful customer service. And Kate has gotten letters of recommendation, people give comments. She showed up on our reviews. So we love Kate. We all love Kate. Kate's awesome. By the way, Kate's payroll is like minimal. That's why I love her as a boss. You guys can respect that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to swing down to long-term nurture reactivation. Now we have a roofing one here. I believe the team is working on a public adjuster one, but I will update you more on that as it comes out. But for roofing, what I have here is I have 10 days. I'm just saying if they did not activate with us, what I'm going to do is just send a little text. Hey, Johnny, I was just following up as things can change to see if you needed any further assistance. Sign ABC Exteriors, right? Now, in the case of this company being a lighting company, a lot of these emails that are written down here, they're about your roof and maintenance. And maybe they don't want to do this. So what would they do? They would go down, and you can see here we've written a very vast amount of emails that go out. You go here, read the emails and modify them. Each of them has a call to action. Each of them has a benefit. They're set up for 365 days of messages that go out once a month. And what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to turn it off because I'm a lighting company. I don't want to use your roofing template. Let me turn that off. I'm a PA. I want to turn it off. All right, great. No problem. What I'm going to do is go back. And because I want to use your sequence, I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab this and I'm going to duplicate it real quick. And I'm going to say, instead of roofing here, I'm going to put in caps, I'm going to put lighting. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my emails in there. If you leverage ChatGPT and things like that, you can make a beautiful email sequence and go ahead and then launch it. So I didn't have to recreate the whole thing. I'm able to just go in and fill in those emails and how that would work real quick. Let me just go into this one. And I'm going to show you here. Well, I happen to go back in the roofing one. So let me go down and do the right one. And you see we got a next page here. I'll go here, go in here. And I'm going to go in and say, hey, this email here, your home's first line defense is roof. I'm going to say your home's security is important. And I can go ahead and type in here and I can go ahead and modify it for whatever. And then I'll save it. Basically, I was able to use what Boss Up gave me, what BUMS.AI gave me. I was able to use it, but then be able to actually go ahead and utilize it for my particular business. So again, you're able to customize away, and that's one of the most powerful tools, but you just want to understand it. And even if you don't understand it, you want to work with the team and maybe pay for a little bit of consulting time and have somebody customize it for you, and it's going to work great. So hopefully that was very helpful for you guys. And now that is it for the automation parts and notifications. We've set it up. We're ready to rock. And that came right out of the box for you. We're going to next get into setting up our calendar, our funnel, and a few other little freebies that we give you with the BUMS.AI. All right. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. And catch you on the other side.